Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a break in your regularly scheduled programming. Now, normally I would be doing Netherlands Farm today and Colbert Park tomorrow. I am just buying time, quite honestly. My new PC isn't here yet, and I don't want to go back to those maps until I can get them running at pretty much max settings. So what I'm going to do today is I want to get some classic equipment. So what I've done is I've scoured the mod sites, and if I like these, they'll be in the mod list. If I don't, they won't. That's the basics of how I'm going to run this. So I have here a John Deere 3650, a FAR M66 and a header, a trailer that I forgot the name of. This is in a separate mod folder, so there's next to no mods here. The Kleiner Kipper Old. We have a 4 for a plough. I really should have bought these on camera. The Privat 430. We have a homemade cultivator, 2 sewing machines, a Monosim Classic, and a sewing equestrian. An OP 2000 sprayer, which if I do like this, there will be a warning with it. When you buy it, I'm actually going to rebuy it just to show you this. Whoops. Oh my god, I'm making all of the mistakes. Okay. You'll also see I've got 6 billion euro. It's because I just added a load of zeros to the default. Okay, so I'm going to sell this, and I'm actually going to rebuy it because there is a minor bug with it. It dances when you spawn it in. We have a a Russian mower. This one's the KDN 210 and this one is the Kier Agram Jet Pae. These are to test out this. I'll need to get, well, I do have a bit, I'll need to do some harvesting, which is why I've got the FAR. Over here then as well we have the Agram Twin 331 with a windrower, small windrower. I like small windrowers, they fit small farms. Or in my case, huge farms where I'm being stupid. So, I have driven around in this a bit. Gonna go out of cab for this. Mirrors work, because I've upped the graphics. Not particularly well mapped to the shape, but they work. The little speedo down there does work. As you can see, it's waving around, the little orange thingy. This does stick to the ground quite well. I tested one of these. There was I think it was a different 3650, and it had a weird habit of the camera wobbling a lot. So that's a thing you need to keep in mind. I'm kind of worried that I won't have 20 minutes of footage here, so where should I start? I'm actually gonna buy, to start off, because I kind of didn't think of this. I'm gonna buy a second little tipper. I'm gonna start off with some grass stuff, because that's how I roll. Now the Kier is a single chop harvester. I know this, well, double chop, I think. But you can run it directly on the grass. I don't want to do that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the KDN, going to unfold it. Nice little unfold animation. I have to admit, how does this thing... Oh, that's all animated. I like this. And it's got wow, it's limiting to 5 kilometers an hour. Wow. Where can I mow? I'm going to mow over here, because it's relatively flat, and I don't trust the John Deere that much yet. So let's get this running. Unfortunately there's no particle systems, which is a bit of a shame, and it's now inexplicably decided to just miss some. It's not mowing. Why isn't it mowing? Can this thing not mow on an incline? It can't mow on an incline. Okay, so you pretty much have to have very specific conditions for this mower to actually work. and I'm not too sure what they are. So it does work, but only just, and very slowly. Was going to do a bit more mowing than that. Not the biggest fan of the Kerr. Not the Kerr, the KDM. So we're going to pick up the Kerr now, and this I did use in 2013. Never on camera when I was doing the MR, but I did have one of these, and it worked reasonably well. So I'll hop into this. The PTO looks a bit out of place because it is a modern style PTO. Can I even hook up to the trailer that I wanted to hook up to? I don't know. Just try and... If you're wondering why I got my FPS counter up, it's just so that you guys can see how my performance is being impacted. Because I'm using default Bjornholm and a few mods. These are all the mods I have. I have no other maps in the folder, so it is kind of the fairest test I can give these mods. Especially working in conjunction with each other. Do I have to put the pipe out? No, the pipe automatically goes out. That is nice. So let's just turn it on. There is sound, and it's also limited to 5k. So is there a particle system? There is. Oh, that's a test. So what happens if I intentionally oversteer so that this is something that needs to be, that I want to check for myself because I have plans for this if it works. What happens if I do something stupid like this? It doesn't fill the trailer. So where does it start filling the trailer? Once it hits the fill trigger of the trailer. That's interesting. That's good to know. So as you can see, the Kerr works quite nicely. There are no animations on the other arm. I don't have HUD either. I can't take this off. But there is kind of a dust animation going on. Particle system there. So you got to be very careful if you're using this. This will go into the mod list. I do like the Kerr. Fire 650 also will go into the mod list. The trailer will go into the mod list because it has dynamic fill play. That's all I wanted in trailer. I will be testing the tipping of the trailer out, don't worry. So I got 2 of them. So that's those sorted. KDN will not be in the mod list. I just... no. It's too picky. The Kerr I can deal with because... well, that is something I can overlook. In reality, you'd have like... I'm gonna get out of the tractor. In reality, you'd probably have the back window of the tractor open and probably a couple of wires coming out of here so that you can turn the spout, but that's something I'm willing to overlook. Okay, I'm gonna test Jumpy McJumpington next because it's really starting to annoy me. So this is a sprayer. It's quite small, as you can see. It's really a bit of a classic style model with quite basic arms, a smallish tank. Again, small to medium farms maybe for this. I just realised pretty much everything else is going to be tested up at the main farm, so I'm just going to... You can see there's something hiding over there. There's a reason behind that. There's a reason something's hiding. It needs to be over there for me to test it. Well, for me to have a look at it. I'll actually have to run it halfway up the map to test it. And the 3650. So that's everything up here now. Let's get Jumpy Jumpington going. Because oh my god, that is annoying. Okay. So I thought you guys might like to see some sort of mod testing spotlight thing, I just realised that the implement in the bottom right is actually a shadow of what the actual sprayer looks like. That's a nice little touch. It does look like it's 2013 spec, as does the tractor, potentially, but that's, again, so the small things I can overlook. It's big gaping things like the mower will only mow in specific conditions, like the KDN. That's something that I'm not particularly willing to overlook. Now, it could have been a horsepower issue, but I severely doubt it, because the KDN was a Soviet piece of equipment. I think this is also Soviet. Soviet tractors, traditionally, I'm not saying all Soviet tractors were useless, but traditionally speaking, Soviet tractors not the greatest. The real exception being the Kirovets. Can this be moved? I can move the boom very quickly, good lord. And does it spray? That is actually a really nice spray pattern. I like this. 2,000 litre capacity, so not very big. Very small booms, as opposed to the ones that I tend to use, which are quite large. If you're using soil mod on a large map, just don't. How big is the boom? Does it say? It does not say, and I don't have any method to test how big the boom is, unfortunately. So it works. It actually works quite well. Oh, that's a problem. The PTO does not work. PTO isn't going into the PTO shaft. It's just modelled. Doesn't even move. That's something that the mod author should really have looked at, in my opinion, is getting the PTO scripts working. And I don't know if it's even possible to have done that. I've just realised. I'm gonna give the mod author a free pass, because I don't know if that's something covered by the Giants scripts, which still haven't been revealed or released. But this does work quite nicely. The ZM1501 Amazon spreader would go quite nicely with this if you are using this for soil mod on a smaller map. This is going to go on the mod list. I'm probably going to use it at some point. So you can sit over here. Next up is going to be something that I will decide shortly. It's gonna be, well, that's the first one I've reached, so it's gonna be the Monosem. So it looks like I will have to get more mods. So this can do maize and sugar beets, which you'd expect from a harvester. See, it looks like this. Any animations or indications of how big, how full it is from the outside? No. One thing I'm going to say straight off, I get that you wanted to put dirt textures on it. Textures aren't great. The model, it looks like, looks almost like the shading is wrong on it. It's definitely wrong on the wheels. They're low poly. You can pretty much see the individual polygons. I don't mind that. That's something I'm interested in, is seeing individual polygons of things, if I can. What's wireframe mode? Is it F4? There we go. So here's all the tries and polygons for the equipment. As you can see, the map is really, really low poly. The map itself. Trees, also actually quite high poly, a lot higher than 2013 trees. Seed pallets are insane. Tractor is actually quite nice in terms of polygons. Because yes, this does show you each individual polygon, which is really nice. The seeder is actually a lot higher quality than I thought. There's detail where there probably shouldn't be detail by the looks of things. Texture work leaves a bit to be desired. So for this I'm going to actually need to test if it can do Hired Worker. Didn't test it for the sprayer because, well, I like doing the spraying by myself. Trail equipment doesn't tend to work too well with Hired Worker anyway. That's basically it. So let's get this going on Hired Worker. Let's first off see if we can see it in the first place. And it can. So let's get the Hired Worker going. And that works quite nicely. I don't have my camera mod on, so the camera's moving slowly as a result. So yeah, that works quite nicely. If you're using Courseplay, be careful because I think you may have to turn off ridge markers. You may have to turn ridge markers onto manual. If you use Courseplay, that may cause a crash. Just be warned, this is going to be the mod list. So far I've picked nothing but good mods by randomly browsing. This is good. I think I'm going to leave pretty much everything else until the next video. I'm going to test the seeder, and that's going to be the end of it. Because there are a couple more things I want to test with this tractor. And I'm going to give the KD a second chance. Actually, I want to test something with the gear as well. Can this not be lifted? This... Ah! Oh. It can. Never mind. I thought the seeder couldn't be lifted, so let's get some seeds into this. Now, I know this is about 3 meters, and it's got a really low capacity because it's intended to be used by, you know, horse and carts. Or horses. It's been modified since then, so the story goes, to have a 3-point connection so that you can use it on the tractor. Now there is, bizarrely, a way to turn it on, which I suppose kind of makes sense. Because on the horses, it would pretty much be going along the ground like this. So let's just see how this thing works. Does it automatically put out the seeds? No, it doesn't. It's kind of okay. So let's switch it on. And it does seed. And it works with Hired Worker as well. That is very good. Now, I'm going to end the episode, the video. The next one's going to be probably a bit shorter, and that'll be coming up tomorrow. Because, again, filling time. Need to try and get videos up so that, well, I can build my PC. I do, by the way, have some parts for it already. I've got Windows 8.1 and my 2 monitors, which are actually a lot larger than I anticipated. So that's a minor work. Hopefully by the time this video goes live, I will be on my new PC. There's also no editing, I'm just going to upload the raw footage to YouTube. I might have to edit a bit at the start. So, gotta leave it there. No, you'll have, there'll be a few seconds of silence, that's it. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you very much for watching. In the next video, I'll be testing pretty much everything else. I want to give the Care one more test. Actually 2, so that, yeah, that I need to do a couple of things. So I'll be testing out the FAR M66, the Agram Jet de Pays, the cultivator, the plough, the windrower, because it's a lot easier to... Oh dear, I've got a phone call. It's a lot easier to bale windrow stuff than not. And the Care as well in the M66. So I'll see you next time, and until then, stay safe and goodbye.